Taking a position at odds with U.S. policy, Prime Minister John Diefenbaker of Canada now faces the major crisis of his career. Canada's reluctance to arm Royal Canadian Air Force jets and the Dominion's rockets with nuclear warheads precipitated the crisis, triggered by U.S. statements which Diefenbaker resented as an intrusion into Canadian affairs. 10 million Canadians will shortly vote in their second general election in a year, and Diefenbaker's nuclear policy must stand or fall on that vote. Lester Pearson, Nobel Peace Prize winner, opposed to Mr. Diefenbaker, hopes Canadian-American relations will not suffer during the campaign.
We should never make anti-Americanism an issue in any Canadian campaign. That is foolish and dangerous.
Lester Pearson initially opposed nuclear weapons. Then he did an about-face.
But until weapons can be abolished by international agreement, and we must fight and work for that, until we can find a better foundation for peace and power, until we have a disarmament agreement, these weapons are necessary for the protection of peace.
They hauled me down.
Attacked from all sides, gripped by paranoia, Diefenbaker began to stumble. A few pushes from the Kennedy administration helped him on his way. The American embassy held secret briefings for Canadian reporters, and Kennedy's journalist admirers wrote stories ridiculing the Prime Minister.
Determining whether we live at peace or whether we are all destroyed in a nuclear war.
As a final blow, the president sent some of his top campaign strategists north to help Pearson win. In 1963, when Lester Pearson came to office, he was Canada's great friend of America. He was the man who had taken the U.S. side against Britain at Suez, and he'd won the Nobel Peace Prize. It wasn't surprising that shortly after he took office, he went down to Hyannisport to meet with JFK. Lester Pearson was a great baseball buff, and he took part in a baseball trivia quiz. Kennedy was most pleased, and he said, "He'll do." At Hyannisport, Pearson accepted nuclear weapons. With this change in the climate, he thought the economic difficulties between the two nations could be easily taken care of. At his departure, Jack Kennedy gave him a personal gift of an American flag.